If you guys are wondering how I wake up with my hair like this, it's not that bad, but I don't sleep with hair products because I don't want it to get in the pillows. I sleep natural and I wake up natural like this. Remember to stretch in the morning to release whatever energy needs to be released, right? To make room for that good energy that we need to get the day started. Such a beautiful morning. I love showering in the morning. It's like the best way to start my day. You know, refreshed. I feel like a princess. I'm living my fairy tale. I love warm water. It just feels so good, especially in the morning, you know? What type of water do you use when you shower? Hot, warm, or cold? Let me know in the comment section. Today we're using a green towel, olive green, like an olive branch. Ooh. Next, make sure you lotion up your body, right? Because we don't want any dry skin. Cherry almond. Oh, like the almond tree. Yeah, it's not flexible. They smell like cherry almonds. And then for the hair, I like to use this curl enhancing smoothie. That's what it says. With silk protein and neem oil. And it has coconut and hibiscus. And just put a little bit on it. There you go. Thank you, God. Some iced coffee to start the morning. Hey, little birdie. What's the first thing you do in the morning? Don't tell me it's check your phone. And I'm gonna be honest, right? That's what I used to do before. To wake up, even in the middle of the night, to check my phone, right? But I've learned that's not the way to go. I don't even check my phone anymore in the middle of the night. My night is supposed to be peaceful, right? My night is supposed to be where I'm surrounded by my angels, right? Holding my space so I could be able to relax, so I could be able to enjoy my night, so I could be able to dream in peace. And my mornings, right? I've changed that too. I don't check my phone anymore in the mornings. That's not the first thing I want to see in the mornings, right? In the mornings, the first thing I do now is be grateful, right? I either go outside and say my thank yous. Say my thank you to the universe. Say my thank you to God. Say my thank yous to my guardian angels. And say my thank you to my ancestors, right? For waking me up. Oh, a beautiful butterfly. For letting me enjoy another day. And that is the first thing I do in the morning. Be grateful. And then I come outside and I look at nature. I look at the birds singing. I get some vitamin D on my skin, right? Because it gets me excited for the day. It gets me hyped for the day, right? And also a lot of creative ideas come when I just stare into nature. I know I took a little week break, but I needed to take that break, right? I needed to, refresh and come back feeling brand new. And that's what a lot of people don't do, right? A lot of people forget to take a little break from whatever it is that they're doing, right? Sometimes all you need is a little break to refresh your mind, right? For new ideas to come, for better things to come. It's like a reset, like I was talking to you guys about. I don't know if you guys have been taking my guided meditation advice, right? But if you have never meditated or you find it difficult for you to meditate, right? I strongly recommend that you start meditating, right? We're so used to, working nonstop or being like a robot nonstop, right? That our brain needs to relax. Our brain needs that little, and the best way to shut it down, right? Because I know that a lot of people find it difficult, right, to shut that part of the brain down, and it's normal because we live in such a fast-paced world, right? Always having to do something, always having to go to work, always having to pay bills, always having to do this, always having to do that. That if you find it hard, right, to meditate, the guided meditations are the best way, right? Because you don't even got to think about anything. The person who's guiding you, right, will tell you what to think about. So you don't got to think about what to think about. I also do some guided meditations before I go to bed, right? It sets me in this trance. And it makes me imagine all of these beautiful things. And that's the best way to sleep too. So yeah, I took a little week break. And I'm back. And I'm better. Thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you so much for watching all of my videos. Thank you for commenting on everything. It means the world to me. Thank you for supporting my business, Papi Wear, and purchasing some of my items there. I really appreciate it. I've already shipped out the orders from last week, and I did get some new orders, and I'll ship those out by the end of the week, I promise. Thank you guys. Oof, so hot. Lucas, Lucas. He's got my pretty boy, Lucas. Popo. I love you so much. Have you guys ever seen a Cuban pastry before? I'm not talking about me, I'm talking about the dessert. This one's made out of guava. So bomb, man. I love how crunchy yet sweet it is. And the guava just like melts. Cuban dessert is the best. I am a Cuban dessert. So bomb. I'm feeling today's workout. You guys feel all the sweat? I feel like Hercules. Turn off this AC. There you go, so you guys can hear me. I just feel so blessed, right? I feel so grateful that whenever I look for a sign, right, from the universe, from God, it's like I look away and it's like right there in my eyes. I'm sure you can do that too, right? But you gotta be willing to pay attention to the signs that the universe, that God is trying to give you, right? If you ask for something, do you guys hear those thunders? If you ask for something, right, it's not just gonna appear in front of you, right? You gotta find your way towards it. You gotta manifest it, right? It happens in the 5D, so you gotta bring it down to the 4D, right? That's when you start imagining it, right? And you start to imagine how it would feel like to have that manifestation, right? And the more you do that, right, the more you're able to make it reality, right? And the more you do that, you can bring it down from the 4D to the 3D, which is the reality that we have right now, right? We live in a 3D world, which also brings me back, right? The 3D is just what we see, right? What's in front of us. So that's where people make the mistake, and they only believe in what they see, right? They believe in lies, they believe in manipulation, they believe what people show them, right? But you got to be willing to look past that, right? Just because something is A, B, and C in front of you doesn't mean there's A, B, and C, right? D, E, F could be behind that, and then G, H, I could be on top of that. And just because you don't see something, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist, right? Just because you don't believe in something, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist either. Which also comes to mind, right? When you're spiritually awakened, right? When you're awakened, when you're enlightened, you're able to notice more things because you're not stuck in the 3D matrix, right? This is only just one dimension that we live in, the 3D. But there are many more dimensions after that you can only see if you're willing to see it. You can only see if you're vibrating at that frequency. That's why it's called the 3D, right? We live in a 3D life. Because everything that we see is, is three-dimensional. There's 4D, there's 5D, 6D, 7D. Many more Ds. Oh, that sounds kind of funny, huh? But you know what I'm saying, right? It's only those that are able to see past this 3D matrix, that are able to, relate, that are able to be in touch with other dimensions. I know it's a lot of information, right? But it's good information. Something to think about. But it's kind of like what goes on spiritually, right? When people want to decide and do all these black magic and want to throw projections and evil eyes at other people, right? It's kind of hard to articulate that. Kind of like when you're doing a reading, right? It's kind of hard to articulate sometimes what's in the subconscious. But readers and people who have practiced on their throat chakra, right, are able to articulate that to the best of our ability. Because we feel it, right? We know what's going on. So we have to be able to transfer that thought from our subconscious to our conscious. So it could be related to you, right? So it could be transferred in a message, right? So it could be understood by the other person. And we have to use words so they could be able to understand what's going on. It's like if we were translating energy. Crazy, but true. So remember, just because you don't see something, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. You have to be willing to be open-minded. People who are not awakened, right, just are stuck in this 3D matrix, right? They don't see past the 3D. But yet they want to sit there and be smart, right? And feel like people who can't see past the 3D are crazy or practice in the dark arts or practice witchcraft. When really, right, those same people are the ones wandering in low vibrational practices. Wow. Another thing to think about. My mom told me to try these mango piña cookies. They're good. Oh my god, guys. A turtle. I love a turtle. So crazy. My mom knows I'm like part monkey or something. Maybe I am part monkey. Maybe I'm not. Either way, I still love bananas. And bananas are good for you. It has good potassium. And potassium is good for your bones. You know, a lot of people underestimate the importance of being vulnerable. And being vulnerable is not necessarily like meeting somebody and just like splurging all of your feelings and telling them, oh, this and that. No, that's not what being vulnerable is, right? Being vulnerable is super important when you want to connect with someone at a much deeper level. When you're vulnerable with somebody, right, that allows for that connection to grow into a next stage. And being vulnerable has to come in naturally, right? You can't force to be vulnerable with someone. Why did that fly just land in my finger? You can't force to be vulnerable with someone, right? Just how you can't avoid to be vulnerable with someone that your soul wants to be vulnerable with. Not like if you're chilling with somebody, right? And you're really into that person is into you. And automatically, right, you feel these vibrations in your skin. You feel this amazing energy sipping through your veins, right? Because you're next to this person that your soul is attracted to, that your heart is attracted to. And immediately, right, naturally, you can be vulnerable with that person, right? That's your intuition letting you know that it's safe to be vulnerable with that person. And when you avoid doing that, you're denying your emotions, you're denying your feelings, right? You're holding yourself back from feeling. You're holding yourself back from a connection that's for your highest good. You're holding yourself back from something that God is telling you that it's okay to do. And what holds someone back? Your ego, your shadow self, right? They're telling you, no, don't do this. Don't be vulnerable with this person for whatever reason, because you don't want to seem soft, even though being vulnerable is not being soft. Just how having love in your heart, it's not a weakness, but a strength. And I've said this before. But that's when you let your ego, and that's when you let your shadow self speak instead of your intuition, instead of letting natural things to happen, right? Instead of letting your higher self speak. Your higher self is not physical, so it can't hold you, it can't pull you to do something, right? It can't force you to do something, right? It can only tell you. And you have to be willing to listen to those signs, and you have to want to listen to that guidance, and you have to believe in it, right? That's when you believe in yourself. That's when you listen to your intuition. And your intuition, remember guys, it's God's way of speaking to you. Because you can ask God all you want, right? You can pray to God all you want. But how are you going to listen to him, right? How are you going to listen to his response? How are you going to listen to his guidance? Through your intuition, guys. Your intuition is super important. You guys feel that breeze of air? Because you don't ever just want to disregard what God is trying to tell you, right? You don't want to ever just disregard the guidance that you're receiving. And you disregard that by ignoring your intuition. You disregard that when you ignore your intuition and you listen to other things, right? Like your ego, or when you listen to other people's opinions about your life. You disregard that when you get distracted by people, places, and things that are not serving your highest good. My mom literally threw this fan away in the trash can. And I was like, why'd you throw it away? She was like, because it's broken. And I was like, I looked at it and I was like, I could fix that. The only thing really that's broken is this little part right here. There's this little part right here. See how it opens up? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna glue that part. My special E6000 glue. I'm not sponsored, I'm just saying. Right, this is the glue that I use. Grab a little bit. Wait for it to dry. Dries pretty quick, like I said, so. The heart I drew for you guys the other day. And my reypapi that I drew the other day too. Let's take out the paint because I want to make it prettier. Period, it's ready. Wow, I love how cool it's looking. Ole. So beautiful. Wow, I just wanted to capture this time of the day. Because it's so beautiful. Like every day, right? Look at the different hues of the sky. And look at the power of the sun. I look forward to, days where I'm able, right, to enjoy the sunsets with that person that's meant for me, for my divine counterpart, for that person that God has ordained for me, for that person that deserves me, for that person that I am deserving of, right? And I know that day is coming soon. It's coming and I can feel it, right? Because I've worked on myself so much, right? I've learned about everything. I've learned about life. I've learned so much about the life around me. I've learned so much about everything. And not only learned, right? I've worked so much on myself, right? And how to become a better person. I've reached a stage of consciousness where I know what I have to offer, and I know my value, and I have integrity to get away from people, places, and things that are not serving my highest good, right? I know my value enough, and I have integrity to know what I deserve, and I will not be comfortable with anything less, because, right, I've never been the type to just date. No. I've only been into relationships, but, I was young. One at 16 and one at 20. Those were karmic relationships. And those taught me what I don't deserve. And I am grateful for the lessons it taught me. Because I know myself now. And I know what I'm capable of achieving in life. I've achieved it. I've reached what I consider to be success. I've overcame things that I never thought I could. And these lessons taught me how to be more dependent on myself and how to value myself more. And if it wasn't for that, right, if it wasn't for what I went through this last year, right, I wouldn't have been aware of my powers and my abilities, right? And not only that, right, if I didn't have gone through what I went through, people wouldn't have been aware of my true nature and my true abilities to heal and my true gifts, right? Because I went through what I went through and I overcame it. And not just overcame it, right? But I came out on the other side of it with knowledge and wisdom. And in one piece. In one piece and at peace. Now I'm able to share what I know, what I've learned with others, to help them, to help you, and you, and you, and anyone who wants to learn, right? To reach their highest potential, because we're all capable of that, right? To find your life purpose. Because you don't want to be going through life just floating, right? You want to be able to be passionate about something, right? You want to be able to reach a stage in your life where you're sure enough about what you're doing, right? And I'm glad I went through what I went through. It wasn't easy, right? Let me tell you. If something was not easy, it was that. But God knew what he was doing when he chose me to do this mission, right? He knew I was capable of doing it. And for that, I'm grateful. Now when I get together with my divine partner, now when I unite with my divine counterpart, with the yin to my yang, right? Now I'm able to also fill him with knowledge and fill him with wisdom, teach him the things that I know, right? And it will be a natural relationship, right? Something that was ordained by God, right? Where we can both work on our dreams together, and where we can both build an empire together that will change the world. And I'm looking forward to that. I am.